Hi everyone, my name's Clyde. Thank you for having me. So Berlin was our final city, the fourth and last leg of our tour, and it was the largest city in Berlin and the capital, or the largest city in Germany and the capital. So even though it wasn't personally my favorite city, there was a lot to do and a lot to see, a lot of very important sites. So our first day we met our tour guide, who was, Mr. Maloney was on the other bus, so I don't think he met him, but he was a unique person to say the least. He started out, one of the very first sentences he said to us was that Berlin is an ugly city, which probably isn't the best first impression, but... So our first stop was the Brandenburg Gate, which you can see there. Probably the most photographed site in the entire country, and we made sure to get one of our own. It stood during the Cold War as a symbol of division in between the two sections of the Berlin Wall that was inaccessible by either side. And it now stands as a symbol of German unity, as does the rest of the wall, which we visited later, which looks pretty insignificant, I will say, with all the people, tourists, and graffiti on it, and it really shows a symbol of the victory of democracy and capitalism. So after that, we were dropped off at the Holocaust Museum for about an hour and a half, and we could either explore the museum or the city surrounding us. And I chose to explore the museum, but I know that many of my friends didn't, and they chose to explore the city within walking distance. And one thing that I really liked about this trip was that even though most people didn't go to the museum, everyone that I know of got a very great experience in Germany. Like, they went to Checkpoint Charlie, they went to get local cuisine, see the beautiful architecture. So there was a way for everybody on the trip, no matter what they believed or what they, how their interests, they could experience and take home something from the trip. I don't know if, okay, there you go. So on the second day we went to Potsdam, which is just a 30-minute drive away from the hotel we were staying in Berlin. And Potsdam was, if you're listening to our tour guide, that's kind of why you can kind of see what he's saying with Berlin is an ugly city, because this was incredibly beautiful. There were incredible architecture, the city streets were incredible, and there's forests everywhere. So we took a tour of the castle of Prussian King Frederick the Great, which painted a good picture in my head, because I kind of see Germany as just Nazism and communism, which is kind of what we're taught in schools. But there's a lot more in German history, going back hundreds of years to the Holy Roman Empire and even before that. So that kind of showed the multiple facets of German history. So after that, we went to the scenic Wannsee neighborhood in Berlin, which is where the Wannsee Conference took place, where the Nazis and Hitler met to discuss the final solution to the Jewish question. So that was a very solemn experience at that museum. But I think it goes to show the importance of a personal and upfront connection with the content that you're learning. Because I think that you can be as knowledgeable or as well-versed in topic as you want. You can read as many books as you can. But to truly be an expert in something, you have to up-close experience it in person. And I think that's what this trip allowed me to do. Not that I'm an expert, but... So the last few hours of the trip, it was the last day, we were allowed to go souvenir shopping for a few hours, which nobody did before that. And I think that goes to show how awesome this trip was, because nobody was thinking about souvenir shopping. No one was thinking about what magnet they're going to get their aunt, because we were so busy with all the stuff that we were doing in these other cities. So I have like 3 shirts from Berlin. But, so, Germany is a very large country, over 80 million people, and I'm sure there's so much more to discover in the country. But I think the trip that our staff and Education First planned was incredible, and it allowed us to truly experience the country. And I might not be able to do another trip like this, another class trip, but I think that it's a great method for educating students. And I hope that our experiences and what we learned from this trip, the lessons that we learned, can help to shape future trips and future for the next generation of Wilmington High. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.